y'all shake your bum bum. I do make that shit in a lump sum. Yeah, we on some. Now they want some.
Okay, you want to go from there. I'm a sort of a project up on there. This is me go on my back. I'm an African cook black. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. One love, one steam, one team. One piece now, I big dream. Africa, make a yeah, you scream.
We are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Come on, Africans. Yeah. We are Africans. I can hear you. We are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Come on, Africans.
Time to be insistent. I'ma say it loud. Don't get it twisted. I'm black and I'm proud. I'm about my business. I'm going in now. All about my money and I got it loud. I am so African 'cause I rap with an accent. Don't mean a damn. Lay it how you want. I can lay it as I like. On song now. No be funny.
African, young black and cocky, like my chick so thick and chunky. Yeah, we dance the funky. It no means that we come from monkey. Africa, Nigeria, me, I'm African, me. My Africanness can be taken from me. Bola to me, rock, bola to me, yakata. Shake my body, bong. All Africans sing along. We are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Louder. We are Africans. Come on, Africans.
keep on moving. Gonna keep on moving.
Lahat ay sumayaw, sige walang titigil. Halina't magsaya, sige walang pipigil. Tayo'y sabay-sabay, itaas na ang kamay. Lahat ay sumayaw, sige walang titigil. Nana eyo eyo, nana hay pa. Nana eyo eyo, nana hay pa. Nana eyo eyo, nana hay pa. Nana eyo eyo, nana simula ng araw ng masaya, tara-tara sumayaw ng pampasigla. Hindi mahalaga anong suot, kahit na gusto, dali-dalian mo na. Sige tayo na't pa-party-party, para ang lahat ay happy-happy. Kahit na anong problema pa, isayaw mo lang, sabayan pa ng ngiti. Hype pa! Sige, sige! Sumayaw ka na. Sige, sige! Sumabay ka lang. Sige, sige! Sexihan mo pa, grabe, daling-dali. Sige, sige! Sumayaw ka na. Sige, sige! Sumabay ka lang. Sige, sige! Sexihan mo pa, tayo'y magsasaya. Lahat ay sumayaw, sige walang titigil. Halina't magsaya, sige walang titigil. Tayo'y sabay-sabay, itaas na ang kamay. Lahat ay sumayaw, sige walang titigil. Nana eyo eyo, nana hay pa. Nana eyo eyo, nana hay pa. Nana eyo eyo, nana hay pa. Nana eyo eyo, nana Baka wag mo nang pigilan pa. Kung nais sumayaw, wag ka na mahiya. Sigurado na ika'y matutuwa. Talagang nakakabata. Ito ang lahat pwedeng sumali. Kahit na feeling mo hindi ka sexy, basta lagi mong isipin na ang mahalaga ikaw ay masaya. Hype pa! Sige, sige! Sumayaw ka na. Sige, sige! Sumabay ka lang. Sige, sige! Sexihan mo pa, grabe, daling-dali. Sige, sige! Sumayaw ka na. Sige, sige! Sumabay ka lang. Sige, sige! Sexihan mo pa, tayo'y magsasaya. Lahat ay sumayaw, sige walang titigil. Halina't magsaya, sige walang titigil. Tayo'y sabay-sabay, itaas na ang kamay. Lahat ay sumayaw, sige walang titigil. Nana eyo eyo, nana hay pa. Nana eyo eyo, nana hay pa. Nana eyo eyo, nana hay pa. Nana eyo eyo, nana Lahat ng sexy, itaas ang kamay. Itaas ang kamay. Itaas ang kamay. Lahat ng sexy, itaas ang kamay. Itaas ang kamay. Itaas ang kamay. Tara na't sumayaw. Kahit na kilikili mo pawis daw, huwag na mainis pa, lahat magsaya. Kaya huwag ka na masungit, mukha ay pumapangit. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, ipakita ang galing sa pagsayaw. Bata man o matanda, may buhok man o wala, ang lahat ay sumigaw. Hayop pa! Lahat ay sumayaw, sige walang titigil. Halina't magsaya, sige walang pipigil. Tayo'y sabay-sabay, itaas na ang kamay. Lahat ay sumayaw, sige walang titigil. Nana eyo eyo, nana hay pa. 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 Nana eyo eyo, nana hay pa.
I've been hearing symphonies. Before all I heard was silence. A rhapsody for you and me. And every melody is timeless. Life was stringing me along. Then you came and you cut me loose. Was solo singing on my own. Now I can't find a key without you. And now your song is on repeat. And I'm dancing on to your heartbeat. And when you're gone, I feel incomplete. So if you want
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The program is about to begin. Except for the official photographers, we request that those of you with cameras remain in your seats during the ceremony. There will be plenty of time for picture taking after the ceremony. We welcome photographers from the media, but ask that you do not come on stage or block the parade of CNR delegates as they enter. Please ensure your mobile phones are on silent. Mesdames et messieurs, la séance va commencer. Hormis les photographes officiels, nous demandons à tous ceux et toutes celles avec un appareil photo ou une caméra de rester à votre place pendant la cérémonie. Vous aurez du temps pour prendre des photos après la cérémonie. Veuillez, s'il vous plaît, vous assurer que votre téléphone portable est en mode silencieux. Nous accueillons les photographes des différents médias présents, mais vous demanderons de ne pas monter sur scène ni de bloquer le défilé des délégués du CRN l'heure de leur entrée.
Bienvenidos, damas y caballeros. La ceremonia está a punto de comenzar. Les pedimos de la manera más atenta de permanecer sentados y al final de la ceremonia habrá tiempo suficiente para la toma de fotos. Solo los fotógrafos oficiales están autorizados a desplazarse durante la ceremonia. Los fotógrafos de prensa son bienvenidos, pero les solicitamos de no subir al escenario y de no interrumpir el paso de los delegados del CRN. Antes de comenzar, por favor asegúrense que sus teléfonos estén apagados o en modo silencio.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Howard Caton, CEO of the International Council of Nurses. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez accueillir Monsieur Howard Caton, directeur général du Conseil international des infirmières.
Damas y caballeros, por favor, denle la bienvenida al señor Howard Caton, director general del Consejo Internacional de Enfermeras.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, friends, welcome to ICN Congress. Welcome to Singapore. Are you pleased to be here? I can't hear you. Are you pleased to be here? Over the next few days, you will be part of 5,000 nurses coming to Singapore from right around the world, 140 countries, and nearly 90 national nursing associations. But ladies and gentlemen, we are now broadcasting live on YouTube, so the 20 million nurses worldwide who are part of our great profession can see us, hear us, and feel that they're part of this event. So I think we need to make some noise, we need to clap, we need to cheer so that those 20 million nurses who are not here know that we're thinking of them, they're here in spirit. Show your appreciation for our great profession around the world. It is my very great pleasure and honor to formally welcome you to this official opening ceremony of 2009 Congress of the International Council of Nurses. Ever since the Singapore Nurse Association extended the invitation to meet in Singapore, we have been working together for this week. We truly appreciate the strong support given by the SNA and thank them for hosting this event. Please show your appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, in the audience tonight are very many special people. We are truly honored to have you all with us, and particularly our eminent keynote, plenary, and main session speakers, colleagues from numerous non-governmental organizations, including the major health professions, this year's recipients of the ICN Partners in Development Award and the Kim Mo-Im Award, current and former presidents and members of the board of directors of ICN and the Florence Nightingale International Foundation, our Congress sponsors and representatives of ICN's nursing affiliates and networks, and nursing organizations from countries that are in contact with ICN but not yet members. We say a very special and warm greeting to all of you, and to our many other guests and volunteers who have worked so hard on behalf of nursing and healthcare throughout the world. We thank you for coming and we salute you all. Please show your appreciation for those volunteers and those people who have given free of their time to make this week happen. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my very great pleasure to welcome the ICN
Board of Directors. Fatima Al-Rifai. It's a bit of a long walk. Fatima. Karen Bureau. Erica Caballero. Liane Wan. Maria Ulula Juve. Rosvita Koch. Ioannis Leontio. Lisa Little. Brigitte Skella Savic. And Ying Wu. Now please welcome to the stage the ICN Vice Presidents. Sun Ray Shin, Third Vice President. Tembeka Gwagwa, Second Vice President. Pamela Cipriano, First Vice President. And of course, our President, a phenomenal global nursing leader, Annette Kennedy. It is now my honor, on behalf of ICN and on behalf of all of us, to welcome and introduce to you the President of the Republic of Singapore, the President of the Republic of Singapore, Mdm Halimah Yacob. Madam President, we are truly honored to have you with us tonight. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your support. Madam President is also joined by leading officials from the Ministry of Health for the Republic of Singapore. Mr. Gan Kim Yong, the Minister for Health. Dr. Amy Kaur, the Senior Minister of State. Mr. Chan Hang Ki, the Permanent Secretary. Associate Professor Benjamin Ong, Director of Medical Services. Miss Tan So Chin, Chief Nursing Officer. I think you got the loudest round of applause, Chief Nursing Officer. And the President of the Singapore Nurses Association, Professor Lim Swee Hai. We thank and welcome you all. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow nurses, we have a very special evening ahead of us. And so, without further ado, let us begin with the parade of ICN member associations, the lifeblood of ICN. Please do give a warm welcome to the representatives of your association, but feel free to give as warm a welcome as you can to all our wonderful associations. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Argentina Nursing Federation. The Australian College of Nursing. The Nurses Association of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The Barbados Nurses Association. The Belgium National Nurses Federation. The Bolivia College of Nurses. The Nurses Association of Botswana. The Brazilian Federal Nursing Council. The Canadian Nurses Association. The Chilean College of Nurses. The Chinese Nursing Association. The Congo National Nurses Association. The Cook Islands Nurses Association. The Costa Rica Nurses College. The Croatian Nurses Association. Right. The Cuban Nursing Society. The Cyprus Nurses and Midwives Association. The Danish Nurses Organisation. The Dominican College of Professionals in Nursing. The Egyptian Nurses Syndicate. The El Salvador National Nurses Association. The Finnish Nurses Association. The German Nurses Association. The Ghana Registered Nurses Association. The Grenada National Nurses Association. The Guatemala Association of Nurses and Professionals. The Guyana Nurses Association. The Honduras College of Professionals in Nursing. The College of Nursing Hong Kong. The Icelandic Nurses Association. The Indian Nursing Council. The Indonesia Nurses Association. The Irish Nurses and Midwives Organisation. The Italian National Nurses Association. The Nurses Association of Jamaica. The Japanese Nursing Association. The Jordan Nurses and Midwives Council. The National Nurses Association of Kenya. The Korean Nurses Association. The Order of Nurses in Lebanon. The Lesotho Nurses Association. The Nurses Association of Macau. The National Organization of Nurses and Midwives of Malawi. The Malaysian Nurses Association. The Malta Union of Midwives and Nurses. Oh. Great. The Mauritius Nursing Association. The National Nurses College of Mexico. The Mexican Federation of Nursing Colleges. The Monaco National Nurses Association. The Myanmar Nurses and Midwives Association. The Nursing Association of Nepal. The New Zealand Nurses Organisation. The Nicaragua Nurses Association. The National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives. The Nurses and Midwives Association of North Macedonia. the Norwegian Nurses Organisation, the Palestinian Nursing and Midwifery Association, the Panama National Nurses Association, the Paraguay Nurses Association, the Peruvian College of Nurses, the Philippine Nurses Association, the Polish Nurses Association, the Portuguese Order of Nurses, the Order of Nurses, Midwives and Medical Assistants in Romania, the Russian Nurses Association, the Rwanda Nurses and Midwives Union, the Association of Health Workers of Serbia, the Nurses Association of the Republic of the Seychelles, the Nurses and Midwives Association of Slovenia, the Democratic Nursing Organization of South Africa. The Spanish Nursing Council. The Sri Lankan Nurses Association. The Swaziland Nurses Association. The Joint Virtual Swedish Nurse Organization. You look great, you look great, you look great. The Swiss Nurses Association. The Taiwan Nurses Association. The Tanzania National Nurses Association. The National Nurses Association of Thailand. The Togo National Nurses Association. The Trinidad and Tobago Registered Nurses Association. The Uganda Nurses and Midwives Union. The Emirates Nursing Association. The American Nurses Association. The Uruguay College of Nurses. the Zimbabwe Nurses Association. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise, give it up for our hosts, the Singapore Nurses Association. A fantastic job to all of you. So wonderful to welcome all of our national nursing associations from right around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I would now like to invite onto the stage our esteemed guests. Madam President Halimah Yacob. And now, the ICN President, Annette Kennedy. Mr. Gan Kim Yong, the Minister for Health. Miss Tan Soo Chin, the Chief Nursing Officer. And my friend, Professor Lim Swee Hai, the President of the Singapore Nurses Association. I now welcome Annette Kennedy, ICN President, to the podium.
Good evening. Good evening. Madam President, Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. During this part of the programme, we will receive official greetings and we will have the honour of bestowing ICN awards. You will also be treated to some superb entertainment. Super. So to begin, it is my honour to declare the 2019 Congress of the International Council of Nurses open. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam President, organising the ceremony and many of the professional and social events of the week require much advanced planning and commitment of time and resources. Singapore Nurses Association have worked very hard to prepare the event and make it a memorable occasion for all of us. Please give a warm welcome to Professor Swee Hee Lim, President of the Singapore Nurses Association.
Good evening, guests of honor, President Halimah Yacob, Annette Kennedy, President, International Council of Nurses, Mr. Gan Kim Yong, Minister for Health, Ministry of Health, Singapore, Dr. Amy Kaur, Senior Minister of State, Ministry of Health, Singapore, Mr. Chang Heng Kee, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Singapore, Professor Benjamin Ong, Director of Medical Services, Singapore, Ms. Tan So Chin, Chief Nursing Officer, Ministry of Health, Singapore, Mr. Howard Catton, Chief Executive Office, International Council of Nurses, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is our greatest pleasure that we welcome all of you to the International Council of Nursing 2019 Congress in Singapore. It is the world's greatest gathering of nurses at the ICN Congress, where the nurses from across the globe meet to discuss policies and share best practices. We have more than 5,300 nurses from more than 140 countries coming together, sharing our nursing profession and passion, which we are all proud of. I'm sure we are very happy to meet old friends, network with new friends. We are thankful and honored for the generous contribution and support from President Halimah Yacob, ministry officials, chief nurses, nursing directors, President ICN, and many ICN officials who are here with us today amidst their busy schedule. Their presence makes a lot of difference to nursing. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome our overseas guests and nurses to our sunny island. With sunshine and rain, it is good to bring an umbrella along with you. Now, some of you may have jet lag, and we hope you have recovered and have a great time learning about Singapore, multicultural races, join in our great Singapore sales, and enjoy our local cuisine and delicacies. With the team Beyond Healthcare to Health, the opening organizing committee has built together creativity and innovation to new ideas for transformation to achieve universal access to health and provide opportunities to strengthen relationships for in-depth exchange and expertise beyond the international nursing community. This will never be achieved without without investment in nursing and nurses. I also like to thank you. I'd like to thank our Singapore Nurses Association Board of Directors. They have put in a lot of hard work in preparing for this Congress. Thank you very much. Now, I'm indeed honored to present to you our guest of honor, President Halimah Yacob, to address us. President Halimah Yacob is the 8th President of the Republic of Singapore. She is the first female president of the country. since 14 September 2017. In 2013, President Halimah Yacob is also the first Singaporean to be elected into the International Labour Organization and the first woman to hold the position as Speaker of Parliament. In 2011, when she became appointed Minister of State for Community Development and Sports, she had introduced various programs for seniors and enhanced services for the disabled, besides laying the foundation for the social services officers. Let us all welcome President Halimah Yacob. Thank you.
Mr. Gan Kim Yong, Minister for Health, Ms. Annette Kennedy, President, International Council of Services of Nurses, Associate Professor Lim Swee Hia, President, Singapore Nurses Association, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me thank all our participants for your wonderful display of your national costumes. Really very beautiful, and I enjoyed it tremendously. Actually, for a moment just now, I thought I was in the United Nations. I think I'm not far off the mark because almost every country in the world is represented today in this conference. I'm really very pleased to join you at this evening's International Council of Nurses 2019 Congress, hosted by the Singapore Nurses Association. Let me first take this opportunity to congratulate the ICN on its 120th anniversary. I wish you many more years of strong leadership and contribution to the international nursing community. Singapore is honored to play host to this largest international gathering of nurses across national and regional borders. To all the nurses who are with us during this week's Congress, welcome to Singapore. I hope you will find your learning experience and stay here fulfilling and enjoyable. Nursing lies at the core of healthcare. In all healthcare systems, nurses typically make up the largest profession. Nurses play a wide range of important roles, including caregiver, care manager or coordinator, patient advocate, and educator. To the patients and families, you are also their friend, confidant, an informal source of advice and emotional support. While the core role of nursing in healthcare will not change, the practice of nursing will continue to evolve in tandem with changing needs and developments in healthcare. In particular, three major driving forces will have a major impact on nursing in the coming years: demographic changes, shifts in healthcare delivery and financing systems, and technology advances. Let me elaborate. It should come as no surprise that many nurses are seeing older patients. The phenomenon of longer life expectancies and aging populations is a common one across the world today. According to the World Health Organization, by 2020, the number of people aged 60 years and older will outnumber children younger than 5 years. While longer lifespan is something worth celebrating, we also know that as people age, they will have a greater need for healthcare, especially for chronic diseases. Countries will need many more nurses, especially nurses who understand the conditions and issues faced by older patients and are able to communicate with and to help them. Here in Singapore, this situation is even more acutely felt. According to a study on the burden of disease in Singapore, 1990 to 2017, Singaporeans are living longer but not necessarily healthier lives. This is why we have gone on a major effort to recruit nurses. In 2013, the Ministry of Health launched a campaign named Care to Go Beyond to raise public awareness of the wonderful work that nurses do and elevate the profile of the profession in our society. From outreach activities at schools and community events to social media publicity and local and even a local television drama series on nursing. The actors and actresses are not nurses, but they learned a lot from the nurses before they went on the acting. So we even had a drama series to get more people to come into nursing. The campaign illustrated the impact and possibilities of a career in nursing. Beyond looking at the young, the ministry also introduced the professional conversion programs to help mid-career professionals to make a switch to nursing. For instance, those retrenched in other services, they can't find jobs there or the jobs there are not growing. So there is a program to allow them, to help them to switch to nursing. I am pleased to note that these efforts have borne some fruits. In the 5 years, we have seen a 30% increase in the nursing student intakes. As the demographic shift and increase in demand will march on, we must continue with our efforts. I am certain that other countries have similar examples to share. In the face of changes in demographics, disease patterns, and citizen expectations, many countries are transforming their healthcare delivery and financing systems so as to provide accessible, affordable, and effective healthcare to citizens in a sustainable manner. As the backbone of our healthcare systems, nurses will play a big part in any such transformation. The practice of nursing will inevitably be affected. Singapore, for example, has set out to transform our healthcare system in 3 ways. First, we want to move beyond healthcare to health and invest more in health promotion and disease prevention. I noticed that this is incidentally the theme for this Congress. In other words, we want to focus a lot more on prevention rather than to deliver good healthcare alone. So prevention to us is a lot more effective if we take that as a strategy. Second, we are working to move beyond hospitals to community and deliver more care in community settings closer to our citizens' homes. And finally, we are looking beyond quality to value to encourage evidence-based practice, appropriate care, and productivity improvements. We see our nurses playing critical roles in bringing about each of these shifts. For example, new and innovative nursing services will be required. Many of these services will be more community and home-based, more holistic and person-centered, and more focused on health promotion and disease screening. For this reason, we have been developing more nurses in the community care sector in Singapore. Some of our efforts include piloting new community nursing services, developing a systematic competency framework for community nursing, and inculcating community nursing exposure in nursing schools and nursing leadership development efforts. Technology can be an enabler for nurses and nursing. For example, effective patient monitoring and information recording devices can relieve their burden and enable them to focus on more critical care tasks. The use of electronic patient records has not just made patient information much more readable, but also made team-based and continuity of care possible. Advances in telehealth technologies can bring nursing care closer to patients' homes. Based on my observation, however, nurses in many healthcare institutions still find much of their time consumed by tasks related to documentation, patient transport, inventory management, and ancillary services. More, thus, can be done. I urge all healthcare and nursing leaders to encourage more pervasive use of technology and redesign work to enable our nurses to focus their time and skills on core nursing care roles. You can also share with and learn from one another's experiences through events such as this Congress. In a changing world marked by structural demographic shifts, ongoing healthcare system transformations, and rapid technology advances, nurses deserve more than a pat on the back. We must support our nurses in rising up to the challenges and seizing new opportunities. I would therefore urge all of you, whether you are representing a state, a healthcare system, or an employer, to commit to nurturing your nursing workforce. Help them acquire new knowledge and skills, create new career development and progression pathways, invest in developing the next generation of nursing leaders. To the nurses amongst us, I encourage you to play a part in shaping the future direction for the nursing profession. Contribute to the many national-level nursing task forces and future nursing career reviews so that you can add to depth of the deliberations and the robustness of the solutions. Each year in Singapore, the President confers the President's Awards for Nurses to recognize the most outstanding nurses who have gone far beyond their call of duty. This is one event which I personally look forward to. I recall that I used to serve on the selection panel for the award years ago, and the interviews were always very memorable. The stories behind each year's awardees and their nursing colleagues, which are by no means atypical, never fail to move me. They reinforce to us the essential role played by nurses in our lives. They reinforce to us that nursing requires not just deep skills and well-rounded personal attributes, but also passion, resilience, and stamina. That being a nurse requires a strong and caring heart. So to all the nurses amongst us this evening, thank you for putting your heart into serving us each day. In closing, I would like to paraphrase this quote, whose origins are not known, and it goes like this: save one life and you are a hero. Save 100 lives and you must be a nurse. It is a great honor to be among so many heroes this evening. I salute you and wish you all an enriching experience at this International Superhero Congress. Thank you and have a pleasant evening.
Thank you, Madam President. And thank you for that quote. Every day, nurses save more than 100 lives. We greatly appreciate the warm welcome we have received in Singapore, and we greatly appreciate Madam Yacob, President, for being here this evening and taking the time out to be with us. Please accept a small token of our appreciation on behalf of nurses globally. Madam President, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I would like now to invite Dr. Tae Hui Lee, Dean of the College of Nursing, Yonsei University and Director of Kim Mo-im Nursing Research Institute in Korea, onto the stage to present the Kim Mo-im Award.
I'm very honored to be here to present 2019 Kim Mo-im Policy Innovation and Impact Award on behalf of Dr. Mo-im Kim. Dr. Mo-im Kim is a pioneer and a revolutionary leader in various areas for social and health development. She was the first nurse in Korea appointed to Minister of Health, a member of the WHO expert panel of nursing for 20 years, and ICN president from 1989 to 1993. In 2015, Dr. Kim received the Yu Il-han Prize and generously decided to donate the entire prize money, combined with the additional funds from the Kim Mo-im Nursing Advancement Fund and donations from her personal assets, to establish this new ICN Award in collaboration with the Kim Mo-im Research Institute for the Studies of Nursing at Yonsei University, College of Nursing, Korea. Thank you. The Kim Mo-im Policy Innovation and Impact Award is granted every 2 years to a nurse who has demonstrated policy innovation and impact. This beautiful award was created by the previous ICN second Vice President, Begudus Kalur. Today, I am pleased to announce that the 2019 winner of this prestigious award is Elias Al-Araj for introducing harm reduction services in Lebanon and in various Middle East and North African countries. For almost 3 decades, Mr. Al-Araj has been an avid fighter for the cause of HIV, not only in Lebanon, but in the Middle East and North Africa region. Besides being the main founder of one of the first community organizations in Lebanon and in the region to work directly on care and prevention services to people affected and living with HIV, he has been a catalytic agent in his country behind the changes of many policies and laws that hindered the access of people at risk to harm reduction and much-needed prevention services. To take this expertise at regional level, he founded and directed for the last decade the Middle East and North Africa Harm Reduction Association, the only regional association promoting and advocating for harm reduction services among injecting drug users and other key populations at risk of HIV. Moreover, in his capacity as president of the Regional and Arab Network Against AIDS, established in 2002 as a regional hub and network of national networks of HIV in the different countries, he managed to take HIV response to different levels of regional political commitment and advocacy. In 2015, he led the regional network to sign a memorandum of understanding with the League of Arab States, making it a milestone as well as a precedent in partnerships between civil society organizations and an intergovernmental body. Mr. Araj will give the Kim Mo-im Policy Innovation and Impact Award lecture on the final day of the Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, Please join me in welcoming Mr. Elias Al-Araj to the stage.
Madam President, ladies and gentlemen, the ICN Partners in Development Award recognises foundations, corporations, NGOs and other groups that have demonstrated outstanding leadership and investment in nursing and healthcare capacity building. Granted every second year, the prize was first awarded in 2007 to American company. Other recipients include Elsevier, BD, Pfizer, Eli Lilly, and the Burdett Trust of Nursing. I am very pleased to announce that this year's recipient for the award is Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson have sponsored the implementation of the ICN Leadership for Change program across 12 provinces in China. This will ensure that a minimum of 500 senior nurse leaders are trained across the country by the end of 2020. This program is already underway, with approximately 50 nurses trained and ready to deliver training in the provinces. We are proud to have Johnson & Johnson as partners, and I am delighted to invite Tushar Mushawar to accept the much-deserved ICN Partners in Development Award. Can you please join me on stage? Howard is coming to the stage, but I'm not walking across the stage again. It's too hard in this dress.
Stay there. Thank you, Tushar Mudeshwar. We are extremely proud of our partnership with Johnson & Johnson. We are delighted to recognise your global development contributions. Colleagues, tomorrow, Nursing Now will be launching a global challenge to employers around the world to invest in the development of nurses and nursing leadership. Johnson & Johnson, you are a trailblazer. You have clearly set a lead by your example, and we thank you. We congratulate all our award winners. Mr. Al-Araj will be presenting on the 1st of July in this room during the morning plenary session. We also have another award winner, Professor Joyce Fitzpatrick, the recipient of the Florence Nightingale International Foundation's International Achievement Award, who will be presenting during a special session on the 30th of June, again in this auditorium. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it now gives me great pleasure to call on the President of the International Council of Nurses, Annette Kennedy, to give us her presidential address.
Thank you. Madam President, ministers, honoured guests, welcome to Singapore and to the ICN Congress. How privileged we are to be in this wonderful 21st century city with such illustrious guests. It is a great pleasure and an honour to open this Congress as your President. There will be more than 5,000 of you here this week as we celebrate 120 years. I wonder what our predecessors would have thought of this gathering back in 1899 when they established ICN, with the vision to advance the profession of nursing by greater unity of thought, sympathy, and purpose. I think they would have been proud of how far we have come, but I think they would say we have much more to do. As we enjoy the Congress, let us celebrate the wonderful progress that we have made and the momentum we are seeing in regards to the elevation of the voice of nursing around the world. Working together has brought us to where we are now, and continuing to work together is essential if we are ever to achieve the most desirable outcomes of all, quality health care for everyone. And I'm so grateful for the President's words of encouragement in relation to investment in nursing. I thank you for that, and I thank you for all your words to say that nursing is essential to the implementation of healthcare, and also that you have said something that we believe in ourselves, and that is investment in primary healthcare. That's where nurses can make a huge difference. But let this be a time of remembrance. We know that nurses make sacrifices to care for their patients and even put themselves at risk in areas of conflict and infectious diseases like Ebola. It is shocking to know that nurses are subjected to more acts of violence than police officers or prison guards. This has to stop. And sadly, as you know, many nurses have paid the ultimate sacrifice. I would like to ask those of you who can to please join me in standing for a moment's silence to remember our colleagues and friends who have lost their lives while giving care to others. Thank you. Now I want to share with you a passion of mine, gender equality. And I'm actually delighted to see the first president of Singapore here as a woman. Gender equality is a fundamental human right. We talk about working women, but the truth is, all women are working women. It's just that their work goes unrecognised is unpaid. It's childcare work, it's work in the home, it's caring for older relatives and the sick. Can you imagine what that would like in economic terms and if it was part of GDP? We have to seek equity for women, and one way to do this is to improve the working conditions of nurses. By improving the position of nurses in society, we will improve the position of women generally. That will lead to better education for women and better health for their families and their communities. And of course, improving the health of society will bring rewards to the economy. But things will only change if we step out of the shadows and we use our voices, all 20 million of them. Let us stand together to make a global impact. With the support of our Director General, Dr. Tedros, who believes in the value of nurses, and with the appointment of Elizabeth Ero as our Chief Nurse in WHO, with 2020 being designated as the Year of the Nurse and Midwife, with Nursing Now, with next year's report into the state of the world's nursing and the bicentenary of Florence Nightingale's birth. This is our time. This is our opportunity. Let's use it. So while there is much to do, we should use this Congress to celebrate the incredible things that nursing has achieved in improving health for individuals, communities, and the world. It truly is miraculous what a passionate, caring, empowered, educated, and highly skilled nurse can do to save people's lives. And we must never forget that. To say it simply, nurses save lives. I want to briefly mention my fellow board members who have worked incredibly hard over the last 2 years in setting the scenes and directing the policy that you have set for us. Thank them for all their hard work. Believe you me, they don't get a minute. As I close, I would like to thank the Singapore Nurses Association in hosting this fantastic event, especially Professor Lee Sui Lim, President of the Association, and our team. They have worked so hard to make this Congress a success, and I'm sure they won't feel happy until it's over, and they won't relax and have a night's sleep. I'm sure that you will take the opportunity to learn more about Singapore's health system, which is consistently rated as among the most efficient and effective in the world. And of course, I want to thank the ICN staff who've put in many additional hours and many extra efforts, and no doubt suffered sleepless nights worrying and making sure that everything goes smoothly. Well, so far, so good. I would also like to extend my gratitude to our sponsors, particularly CGF&S, NCSBN, Group San Donato. Please take the time to visit their stands at the exhibition and attend their symposium over the next 2 days. It's very important that you do so. And thank you to all the delegates who have given up your time to be here. And I know that it's difficult, it's expensive, but it's well worthwhile to share and be here with your colleagues. And finally, I would like to end with some words from the great Irish playwright and political activist, George Bernard Shaw. He once said, "You see things and say why. I dream things that never were, and I say why not." So let us dream of achieving universal health care and a positive practice environment for nurses and say, why not? And together, let us make it happen. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the official portion of this evening's ceremony. I would like to invite our distinguished guests on the platform to take their places in the front row to enjoy the next segment of the programme, and again for us all to show our appreciation for all of our distinguished guests and for you, Madam President. Thank you. Please just bear with us for a few moments, colleagues, whilst we prepare the stage for the next section of our opening ceremony. Those of you who have attended an ICN Congress will know that this will be a very rich experience for you to share with each other, to connect with some old friends and colleagues, and also to make many new friends. Every Congress also brings us an opportunity to experience the unique musical and cultural heritage of our host association and nation, and this year is no exception. This evening, we are very fortunate to have a performance from Unity in Diversity. Their dance portrays the integration of the multi-ethnic people of Singapore, the three major ethnicities, the Indians, Chinese, and Malays. These ethnic groups live and work harmoniously as one people while preserving their rich cultural traditions, which are symbolized in this dance using bunga mangar, kompang, garland, and red ribbons. The golden fans symbolize the richness of the heritage, while the swift movements symbolize dynamism. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, please give a very warm welcome to Unity in Diversity. Thank you, Unity in Diversity. Let's show our appreciation once again. That was excellent. I also very much like their name. I think it's a name that we perhaps might adopt for us this week, our unity in our diversity. Before we close the opening ceremony, we would like to give a very special and particular thanks to our sponsors. To CGFNS, our platinum sponsors. To Grupo Esperalo San Donato and the National Council of State Boards of Nursing, our silver sponsors. We would also like to thank the Singapore Minister of Health and the Lee Foundation and DS Lee Foundation, as well as the 3 healthcare clusters, the National Healthcare Group, Singer Health, and the National University Health System. I'm now going to invite our President-elect Kennedy to the stage for the opening of the exhibition.
Once again, I would like to thank Madam President Halimah Yacob for gracing us with her presence this evening and for her excellent speech. Thank you. I'm sure this is going to be an extremely enjoyable and rewarding event for the thousands of nurses who have come to this beautiful country from all over the globe. I'm hoping to see a little bit of it soon. I see it from the window, that's it. The exhibition is an essential part of this experience. So as you explore the wide-ranging exhibition, you will have the opportunity to learn about nursing in Singapore as well as in other countries. The wide variety of exhibitors also provides us with a host of information, educational opportunities, new nursing products, publications and services. I encourage all participants to take the time to explore each stand and ask questions and benefit fully from this lively forum, which can help us keep up to date with many aspects of our profession. To all our exhibitors, I extend a warm and special welcome. We are delighted to have you chosen to participate. And thank you for your efforts and the investment you have made in coming here. By taking a stand at this exhibition, you are taking a stand for nursing. I'm sure you will agree with me, it is well worth it. And now that I have given you a little taste of what's to come, let me officially declare the professional and commercial exhibition open. Thank you.
Colleagues, please remain seated while our distinguished guests and Madam President of the Republic of Singapore and the ICN President lead us out into the exhibition. I would invite the ICN board and our guests in the front rows, please, to follow the party into the exhibition. Colleagues, our superhero congress and exhibition is now well and truly opened. I invite all of you to join us in the exhibition and have a very good few days.